I just watched Vadh 2 and Bhabiji Hai on the same day, and here are my conflicting feelings about them. Starting off with Vadh 2. Vadh 2 is the spiritual sequel of Vadh 1 or Vadh, starring Sanjay Mishra and Neena Gupta in the prominent role. Why am I saying this is a spiritual sequel? Because both of the characters that we have known in Vadh is coming back. Their chemistry is quite same, but the whole story is very different in this one. The plot line is very simple, as you have seen in the trailer. Sanjay Mishra and Neena Gupta are both part of the same jail. Sanjay Mishra is a part of the police force, while Neena Gupta is serving a life sentence in that jail. But however, over the time, they both share a bond without even seeing each other, by the way, and they grew a somewhat platonic kind of relationship. And in the same jail, a new jailer has been appointed, played by Kumud Mishra, a racist and classist jailer by nature. And we also get introduced to a convict of that same jail who is a sociopath, played by Akash Dogra, if I am not mistaken, who is somewhat of a servant to a political leader, and due to his political influence, he has a much stronger authority in the jail than the superintendent, than the jailer himself. So one fine night, the jailer gets angry on the convict, the sociopathic convict, due to some of his actions, and he bashes him right, left and center, and then leaves him in the cell and goes to his home. The next morning, we get to say that the convict, the sociopathic convict, is missing. Now, how did such a high-profile convict went missing from a high-security jail right after getting bashed by the jailer himself? Is the main storyline of Vadh 2. Let me get straight to the strong points. All the performances of these movies are actually very, very convincing. Sanjay Mishra as the humble, hardworking but clever, cunning policeman is such a treat to watch in this movie. He is dealing with powers beyond his measure, but his collectiveness, his calmness, his proper knowledge of the law and how things work, and his ability to predict what is going to happen and how it is going to happen is what keeps him ahead of everyone in the pecking order. Neena Gupta is more of a bystander who is just experiencing her life after a very traumatic event which changed her and shocked her from her core. She is more of an observer of her own life and is contemplating her life and is thinking what is she going to do after such a long time imprisonment and almost serving half of her life in the jail. Kumud Mishra as the classist jailer who on surface level is very idealistic, is very strong with his principles and all that, but from inside he is a very, very shallow kind of a guy. The sociopathic convict played by Akash Dogra was menacing, yes. Should I compare his performance with the one that of Saurabh Sachdev? Totally not. Don't compare both of them. They both are playing two different ball games. Saurabh Sachdev is somewhere on his own level. This guy has done his job very well. He is convincing as the menacing guy and you start to hate him. Yes, not as such level as Saurabh Sachdev, but you start to hate him. That is also the fact that Saurabh Sachdev's character doesn't get a beating from the jailer in the very middle of the movie. This character does get a beating and you do get a little relief on your senses seeing him getting beaten like that. Then there is an investigating officer who is investigating the whole process, how the convict, the sociopathic convict, has actually disappeared, or is he disappeared, has he fled, or is he murdered, what has happened. That guy was very convincing as well. He had a very strong screen presence while standing in front of legends like Sanjay Mishra and Kumud Mishra as well. Kumud Mishra, right? Kumud Mehra. Kumud Mishra. I think it's Kumud Mishra. And overall, by the half or the 1/3 of the movie, you know how things have happened, may have happened, what has happened. But the real question remains is how did he do that? Who did that? I mean, we know who did it, but how did he do it? And how did he manage to fool everyone? And what was his eventual plan? This movie is in a way quite little similar to that of Drishyam. It has some aspect of it similar to that of Drishyam 2. I'm not saying that it is anywhere close to Drishyam 2. The whole thrill part of Drishyam 2 was how did he do it? Where did he do it? When did he do it? How did he manage to do it? And in case of Vadh 2, the question is how did he do it? So if you're free this weekend thinking of watching a good thriller movie, this movie definitely deserves your time. Now coming to the movie that deserves a separate rant session, but I'm not going to give it that much time because it's not worth it. Bhabiji Ghar Par Hai, the movie. My first question is, how did a project like this got greenlit? I mean, what did the producer saw in the script that he thought, you know what, I'm going to invest my money in this. What was so engaging in this script? Let me tell you, lust. This movie is a lustful fantasy fiction come true for 50-year-old men who are suffering from dark fantasy issues, men who are filled with lust, who don't know what to do with their extra testosterone and extra juice that they have stacked in their balls, are clueless about their own marriage life, relation, the health of their relation, and are lusting over women that are not related to them at all, women that are younger than them. That is the whole summary of the movie Bhabiji Ghar par hai. But when you bring that same TV serial style writing to movie, that is not going to churn out the same kind of laughter. There were moments in the whole script, there are moments in the screenplay where it felt like after a comic act, they are waiting just to deliver that laughing track in the background. They are so accustomed to the format that the screenplay of the TV serial was shot, the script was wrote in that format, that style of acting and that style of screenplay is also translating in this movie as well, which is not at all sitting well with the audience, at least for me. In short, this movie is a fantasy come true for people who are well over their age, are into dark unethical fantasies, like to watch derogatory contents like that, and the sad part is no one is going to complain about it. And this movie has announced its sequel in the movie itself as well. So they are confident about that. They are confident that they are going to gain enough money for another sequel of this movie. How did we end up in here? How did we end up in this place? Our Bhabhi fetish gets a movie of its own. There is a reason why Bhabhi corn is one of the top search tags in our region. So that was it for this video. Comment down below what are your thoughts about Vadh 2 if you have seen it yet. And Bhabiji Ghar par hai again, as if you have seen that too as well. Comment down below about my opinions, what you agree or disagree about my opinions on the movies. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe to Omlan Rexo. Please do subscribe.